Welcome to the bell curve. There's a moment in Fallout New Vegas that tells you almost everything you need to know about it. You're shot in the head, buried in a shallow grave, left for dead in the Mojave desert, and then, because this is Fallout, you wake up. No prophecy, no destiny, no sacred lineage, just a courier who happened to be holding the wrong package on the wrong day. The game doesn't ask you to save the world, it barely even asks you to care. It simply hands you a problem, points you vaguely west, and says, deal with it. That restraint is New Vegas in a nutshell. It's a role-playing game that trusts you, not to be noble, not to be kind, just to be consistent. When New Vegas launched in 2010, it arrived with bugs, crashes, and technical problems that were impossible to ignore. Characters froze, quests broke, the engine creaked like it was being asked to do things it never agreed to in writing. But underneath all that instability was something far more interesting than polish: intent. This wasn't Fallout 3 again. Obsidian took Bethesda's framework and filled it with arguments about power, about ideology, about whether civilization actually learns from its mistakes or just gives them new uniforms. New Vegas isn't about heroism, it's about control. Who holds it, who pretends to deserve it, and how often it ends up in the hands of people who probably shouldn't have it at all. The Mojave wasteland reflects that philosophy beautifully. This isn't a theme park of ruins, it's a contested land, claimed, occupied, exploited and argued over. Every settlement feels like it exists for a reason. Every faction has a stake. Even in the opening hours, you can sense that the desert isn't empty, it's tense. The new California Republic presents itself as order and democracy, but even early on you can see the cracks. Overstretched resources, soldiers who are tired rather than heroic, a bureaucracy that feels suspiciously familiar even after the end of the world. Caesar's legion lurks at the edges of the map and the narrative, and the game makes no effort to soften them. They are brutal, efficient, unapologetic. And while some characters argue that their cruelty brings stability, the game never mistakes explanation for justification. Then there's Mr. House, watching it all from behind layers of machinery and ego. He represents a different kind of control, technocratic, detached, and utterly convinced that he knows better than everyone else. What matters is that New Vegas doesn't push you towards one of these paths. It lays them out like cards on a table, and waits to see which one you reach for, if any. And this is where New Vegas quietly outclasses most RPGs. Choice here isn't cosmetic. It isn't just selecting a different line of dialogue and watching the same outcome play out. Decisions close doors, sometimes without warning, sometimes without drama. You say the wrong thing, help the wrong person, or pull the trigger one too many times, and entire possibilities simply vanish. The game doesn't pause to check if you're sure, it assumes you meant it. Skills matter in ways that feel refreshingly blunt. Intelligence opens doors, low intelligence closes them. Speech can diffuse situations, but not all of them, and not always. Violence is an option, but it's rarely a clean one. The Mojave reacts to you not as a hero, but as a variable, something unpredictable, potentially dangerous. As with most RPGs, the game gives you companions to come along on your tour of the desert. Boone is the first real signal of how New Vegas treats the people who travel with you. He isn't friendly, he isn't charming, he doesn't exist to lighten the mood. Boone is grief given a sniper rifle, and the game has no interest in rushing him toward catharsis. He follows you because he has nothing else left to hold on to, and because your goals briefly align with his need for focus. What makes Boone interesting isn't just his backstory, it's that he's paying attention. He watches what you do, he reacts to your choices, he approves, he disapproves, and sometimes says nothing at all, which is often worse. The game doesn't excuse him, it doesn't soften him. Boone is a reminder that survival in the Mojave comes at a cost, and some people pay it in ways that don't heal neatly. Other companions exist out there, Veronica, Raoul, Cass, Arcade. But the important point is this: New Vegas doesn't treat companions as collectibles. You don't unlock them, you encounter them or you don't. And if you do, they come with opinions, limits, and lines they won't cross. Even in the early hours, the message is clear. These people aren't extensions of your inventory. They're witnesses, sometimes allies, sometimes quiet judges. Mechanically, New Vegas shows its age. Gunplay is serviceable but stiff. Animations are awkward. Characters move like they're negotiating with the engine, rather than commanding it. Even with improvements over Fallout 3, combat is rarely elegant. And yet, none of that feels fatal. Because the game isn't really about shooting, it's about context, and why you're pulling the trigger, who sees you do it, and what happens afterwards. You can talk your way through conflicts, you can lie, you can manipulate, you can walk away entirely, and the game usually accounts for that, even if it doesn't always reward you for it. What makes New Vegas endure isn't nostalgia, it's conviction. This is a game that believes role-playing means more than picking a moral alignment. It means inhabiting a worldview, living with its consequences, accepting that some outcomes are messy, unresolved, and uncomfortable. It doesn't flatter the player, it doesn't frame every action as justified, it hands you power early and watches closely to see how casually you use it. In an industry increasingly obsessed with safe narratives and carefully managed experiences, Fallout New Vegas feels almost defiant. It's rough, it's unstable, but it's also honest in a way that few big budget games dare to be. Fallout New Vegas doesn't ask you to save the world, it asks you to decide who gets to run what's left. And then it steps back, folds its arms, and lets you live with the results.